Hey Frugivore, I'm Freelee. Welcome back to Frugivore Diet Channel. So today's video, we're going to check in on Yovana Mendoza, aka Rawvana, as she used to be known as Rawvana. We're going to see what she is up to because one of you said she made a video about transitioning, like how to transition back to eating animals. And of course, I'm just like, is this necessary? You need to make this video. It just blows my mind. Anyway, we're going to get into it. We're going to check that video out and I'm going to give my commentary to it. Definitely, you give your commentary in the comments below. It definitely helps spread this message. We're in this together. We're trying to make, people just get what they are doing, what they're contributing to, and just change this world for the better, right? And it takes a team effort, and I love having you all here, so thank you for being here. All right, so if you want to see more of them, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't, and just do something if you want to see more of them. Let's get into it. Okay, Frugivore, here we are on Yovana Mendoza's YouTube channel, formerly known as Rawvana. She has 484,000 subscribers, but subscribers don't matter anymore, as you can see from her views. It matters whether YouTube suggests your video or not. So you can have a ton of subscribers like I do myself, over 700,000 on my main channel, but if YouTube doesn't promote my video, then my subscribers just won't see it, which is obviously very unfair. But anyway, as you know, as a lot of you know, I was previously friends with Rawvana Yovana for years, and I saw her downward spiral. I saw her starting to eat higher protein, higher fat, under eating, towards the end of a plant-based diet. But then we have to just step back a second and point out the fact that she was caught lying and eating fish. If you haven't seen the video, go and check it out. I've made a couple of videos on Yovana covering all of that, so we won't get into it, but she was caught out lying to her audience, claiming to be vegan and plant-based, but also eating fish. So anything Yovana says, we have to take with a grain of salt. Okay, we have to be skeptical because she has proven herself to be a liar. And I think she is quite the compulsive liar after knowing her for quite some time. So anyway, let's get into it. This is her video, transitioning out of veganism.
Today I want to talk about how to transition from a plant-based vegan diet.
Hang on. You can't have a plant-based You can't transition out of a plant-based vegan diet because veganism isn't a diet. Okay, it is a lifestyle about animals. Sure, there's a dietary aspect where you don't eat the animals and their secretions because of what it does to them, because of the harm it brings them, because veganism is about them. It's not about just eating plants and you're automatically, care about animals. That's not how it goes. And obviously, Yovana didn't because she is going back to she's eating them again. So she was never vegan. She was posing as a vegan, but she was a plant-based poser. Okay, she was eating plants. So it's good to make that distinction first up.
To a regular, more balanced diet.
What? A regular, more balanced diet? No, sister, you're devolving. You're going back. Remember, you came from that. You came from eating animal bits and pieces. Now you're going back. That's not progress. I mean, what is the point of this video? Honestly, transitioning out of veganism, she may as well just be saying, so how to go from being kind to yourself and animals to hurting them and yourself again with big smiles. She just smiles all the time, and it's kind of it's creepy because she obviously has zero compassion, which it's quite frightening. It is quite, I'm not kidding if you watch
on Instagram, asking you guys if you wanted to see a video of how I transitioned back to incorporating animal protein after being vegan for 6 years. And you
No. So she again is using the term incorrectly, veganism for 6 years, and see how she's referring to animals as animal protein. She's breaking them down, sentient, living, feeling, breathing beings who experience pain and suffering, down to protein. That's what they are. They're animal protein. That to me is really, that's disturbing in itself. And again, you saw her smiling so much.
Yes, so here I am. I believe that everyone is different. So take from me what you...
Look, this whole everyone is different. Okay, we are different as in we've had different backgrounds, okay, with our growing up and the foods we ate, and our background is different in that way. But that doesn't make our physiology different and the foods that we are biologically designed to eat. So, Yovana, Yovana, we know that you did a raw food lifestyle and she was doing good. Yovana was doing good at one point on a fruit-based raw living foods diet. She was. But then she started to undereat, okay? And get bored or something like that. Just get pulled back into, the mainstream way of eating. And it's risky. It's risky. You've got to stay really focused. You've got to be committed and, stay passionate and educated in order to stay on track and obviously care about animals, right? So this is the way to educate yourself and do the lifestyle properly. I go through all the mistakes that I made in the past and I lost 40 pounds on this lifestyle. So check it out. The link is in the description below to the ebook and to a bundle. You can get a huge discount, or the physical book will be available on Amazon eventually.
I get DMs, I get comments every single day from people who want to transition back to.
This is so pointless. Like, I mean, who needs a video transitioning back to eating flesh and secretions? It's just strange. It is just a strange thing. And like I said, it's like how to go from being kind to yourself and animals to hurting them and yourself again. That's essentially what she's doing. She's kind of treating it like she's like evolving or something, but she's actually devolving. She's trying to make it like okay and like even desirable.
Eating animal protein, but don't know how to do it. So to give you a little background, I followed
How do they not know how to eat animal bits and pieces? They've been doing it their whole life.
100% plant-based diet, vegan diet, for a little over 6 years.
Well, see, that is a lie in itself, though, because you got caught out before those 6 years. So she's just like, she's already been like called out a number of times for lying and different things with the family as well. Like there's a lot to this, a lot to unpack, but I've covered some of it in my videos, which you can check out.
And I feel like the first 4 years were good, but the last...
Okay, so the first 4 years were good, and that's when she was eating exclusively raw food. Well, was she though? But the fact that she's saying she felt good means that she probably was. Okay, so she was eating living food. She was eating a fruit-based diet. All right.
Last 2 years, I was really struggling, and it's
okay. So the last 2 years, she was really struggling. So, like I said before, I saw her devolving. I'm just going to use that word because I feel like it is necessary, because she's definitely not evolving. I saw her in the last 2 years, all right, having higher protein, under eating, taking supplements, doing like, keto style, higher fat, just completely lost it. I'm like, this is not a good sign. But, she wanted to continue on doing that. So, people will do what they will do. But that's clearly why she's having issues in the last couple of years. She's under eating.
Friends of mine who had been vegan for over 8 years told me about their experience of incorporating animal protein back into their diet and how...
What? They were not vegan. Gosh. Like, it's just incredibly detached the way she keeps calling animals living, breathing, sentient beings that have families, that are here for their own purpose on earth, to live out their own life. She keeps calling them protein. They're animals, Yovana. Imagine someone referred to you as a bit of protein. Anyway, these people are obviously not vegan because veganism is about animals, and you don't go back to eating the animals because it's about animal liberation. Anyway.
Good they were feeling. So some of the symptoms that I was feeling before I went back to eating animal protein were just a lot of bloating, really, really, really bad bloating.
Okay, so if she had a lot of bloating, this is in the last couple of years, so she reduced the amount of fiber she was having, and she wasn't eating enough calories. That was obvious. Not enough calories, not enough fiber. Like her meal plans were based on like, I think it was 1,400, maybe as low as 1,200. I'm not 100% sure, but they were drastic. She was drastically under eating. Like that's why she started to eat cooked food in the first place, because she began under eating, and then she was under eating on cooked as well. So, that the proof of that is in her eating plans as well. She had no idea how to actually nourish and feed herself correctly.
Also had iron deficiency almost a year, and it didn't matter how many iron supplements I took.
Wow, that's dangerous to take iron supplements, and it sounds like a lot. Doesn't matter how many I took. It's like she was loading up on iron supplements. I became almost anemic. Okay, so where is the proof of that? All right. So this can be another symptom of undereating as well. Where is the proof? Where is the blood test, Yovana? Where is the blood test? I think it's always important to show your blood test here because remember I showed my one after 14 years or 13.5 years, I believe, of following this lifestyle, fruit-based lifestyle. And you saw my iron. It was excellent. No problem at all because I know how to nourish myself correctly as a frugivore. So, you know what I mean? Like, look, yes, people are different, but we are all frugivores and it all works for us. The same diet works for us. We just need to make sure we're eating enough. And she was under eating. So she caused her own iron issues. Okay, so
I was borderline. I was basically anemic. I also had some.
She kind of gives me a feel like she looks quite pale these days. I would actually like to see her blood tests now. I would like to see her blood tests. You know, like she's saying all this. I had all these issues. I want to see the previous blood test. I want to see proof of what you're saying. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I want to see proof and I want to see proof of you being better now. Okay. You always have to provide that before and after. Vitamin C is, you know, packed into fruit. Okay. And that's why it's so good for your iron levels, a living foods diet, because you're getting like, that's one of the reasons you're getting so much vitamin C. You know, you're getting sufficient amounts and that increases the absorption of the iron. So it's really good, really, really good.
Hormonal issues. I had irregular periods. And
okay, well, see, there is a big sign right there that she was under eating. If you're not going to meet your caloric needs, then yes, you will get irregular periods. You may get irregular periods. You may lose it altogether. So there's another symptom. You know, if the human frugivore organism doesn't get enough calories, then of course you're going to pull up with problems.
Another thing, this is more aesthetic, is that my hair
was starting to fall off. Okay.
Was so thin. My hair was falling out.
But it looks incredibly fine now. It's just strange that she says that. I met her in person. I know her. I never, ever, ever saw that. That didn't look like an issue at all for her. And I don't know whether she's using standard kind of excuses here, you know, to excuse herself because, you know, she's looked it up. She's like, oh, yeah, hair falling out. Okay, yeah, iron issues, yeah, hormonal, regular periods, you know, like to get people off her back and say, I had all these issues. I don't know. But again, if you're under eating, yes, you can have hair falling out. You really think that eating the flesh of animals as a frugivore and secretion is going to bring your hair back? Look at my hair. After 14 years, my hair is like getting better. My hair is improving all the time. You know, like it's just so, yeah, you can see that she's either not telling the truth or she didn't do it correctly, didn't eat.
It took me around 6 months of thinking to reincorporate animal protein into my diet until I finally did it. So I started with...
I mean, like, do we even believe that? Because it's animals, by the way, it's not animal protein. Because you were caught eating the fish, like it's...
Something very simple. I started with collagen. And for me...
Oh, what? She's probably trying to sell that. She is probably trying to sell that. That's really like collagen. Okay.
Collagen was really easy to start with because it wasn't an actual physical food that I was eating.
So, you know, why would an animal that is designed to eat meat, you know, designed to eat other animals and their secretions, why would that animal have an issue going back to eating them? Like, you know, don't you crave it because you're meant to eat it? You're an omnivore, you know, you're meant to get in there and eat the flesh. You know, your craving should just take over and you should just be, desperate to eat it. But see, she's got this whole like transitioning. It took me months. I mean, if we're designed to eat it, then why do you have to slowly introduce back? You know, it doesn't make sense as a meat eater.
So I started adding it to my smoothies or just drinking it by itself with water. And that's how it started. So I started with that for about a month, I want to say. And then I started with bone broth.
Gosh, no. The juice of an animal's bones, bone juice.
easy thing to start incorporating because, again, you just drink it and that's it. So
yay, liquid animal. It's so bizarre to me that she doesn't connect up what she's actually ingesting, that it's the bones of animals. And she's like, yeah, just smiling, and like, it's kind of creepy, you know? It's just weird as a frugivore.
I did that for, I want to say, a couple of months. And as I was feeling more comfortable and just warming up to the idea of incorporating animal protein, that...
Look, again, the animal protein, warming up to the idea. If you are designed to eat animals, you wouldn't have to warm up to the idea, right? And these euphemisms like animal protein basically is a euphemism. You know, it's an animal. He, she, they exist, they have family, they have an existence that they deserve to live out, you know. So please, let's call them what they are. They're animals. You know?
That's when I decided to incorporate eggs. So the first day I ate eggs, it was just, I made a decision. Honestly, I just said, I'm going to do it. And I cooked eggs and I ate them.
Yeah, you cooked eggs. Of course, you cooked them, but not like a true carnivore or omnivore. You cook them because you're not meant to eat them. As a frugivore, they're not meant to go into your body. It's reptile food, hey.
Honestly, was never like a huge fan of the yolk part of the eggs, but I just ate it.
I just ate it. She's just like, you can see the connection here of that she really didn't want to, because it's really not part of her natural diet.
And then a couple of weeks later, I incorporated fish. And fish was fairly easy for me to incorporate because I had been learning.
A couple of weeks later. When was that exactly, Yovana? Because remember, you didn't tell your audience. You just lied. You just lied to us all.
About the omega-3s. I had been learning about the benefits for our brain,
It's the irony of this is that it's actually the opposite. Okay? Eating the flesh of these fish, especially the big ones like she showed and like she eats, is can compromise brain function and our nervous system function, to name just two things, right? And look, parasites, wormies, we know that's a real issue, especially with these big fish. It's a real issue. An animal that includes like a lot of wormies that can just ravage her internal state, which are likely doing that right now. But she won't tell you. She won't tell you because it's Yovana. She pretended to be, you know, she said she was loving the lifestyle, loving being plant-based and everything like that. And then suddenly she's not, you know, things were so bad, even though at the time she was like, things are so good. So you can't believe what she's saying. But anyway, compromising brain function, nervous system, this is scientifically documented.
I ate. I didn't really incorporate anything else. And it wasn't until my second year of incorporating animal protein that I started.
What? She got animal protein. She got like some fancy, like disturbing photo, you know, trying to make it look like appealing. And this is just promoting hurting animals. That's what it is. She should be ashamed of herself. I just cannot believe this is her. You know, I didn't realize that there was this side to her. Look, I'm not going to watch any more of this because I don't believe her. I find it very hard to determine what is truth and what is not with her, because she's already proven herself to lie, to be compulsively lying, and just pretend to be vegan during that time. And that is unacceptable. So for me, I can't determine where it's truth and where it's not. And we never can, because we don't have any evidence of blood tests or anything like that. That's my video for today. Please don't forget to go fruit yourself. You know, and pointless videos like this, it's just doing so much harm, weird and wrong, and just, Yovana, stop. All right, don't forget to go fruit yourself, and I will talk to you soon.